Viljanen also.
Leg is Madars to throw first.
Big win as well against
Game
Christo
on.
Reyes. Will this man emulate all of them by pulling off, despite that achievement of a first Pro Tour semi-final recently,
44.
what would be a bit of a surprise here? James Wilson also, well, he's the happiest man in the world anyway, but right now he's in pretty good spirits too, because he came very close to claiming his maiden PDC title on Wednesday at the Players' Championship event in Barnsley, only to lose out to the Ferret in the final.
Yeah, played very well. He has played very well recently, James Wilson. We saw him go on a run to the semi-finals in that same weekend that Madars made the semi-final. It was the following day that Wilson went to the semis and then went one better, making his second PDC final.
20.
He is a BDO major title winner, of course. Won the World Trophy, won in Zuiderdown. Madars has won 4 BDO ranked events. Like
140.
Scottish Classic 2015, beat Hankey in the final. Ted Hankey. Say his name 3 times at midnight into a mirror. He'll appear behind you, throw a 180, and then show you his chest. There you go.
98.
It is Friday the 13th.
It is. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Now. Making his European Tour debut, Razma,
60.
29 years old. Entered Q School this year. Made the quarterfinals on day 2. And that was enough to help him finish 12th on the Order of Merit, so he earned the final tour card on offer.
94.
And of course, the first Latvian
Madars, you require
ever to hold
160.
that will always be with him.
Okay.
That will never be taken away.
No, it won't. This leg might be taken away from him, though.
60.
Because that leaves him 100, which is a 2-dart checkout. But Wilson, 2 trebles for double top. Yes. Not to beat.
100. Madars, you require 100.
No guarantee he gets a dart at the double here, though. Tops, it has to be. No other option.
Oh. 62. Change you require 60.
Well, that would have been some way to announce yourself on the European Tour stage. As it is, Wilson's looking at a break here. 2 goes at tops for it as well.
Game shot on the first leg.
James Wilson is off the mark.
Second leg is James to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, break a throw against the Euro Tour debutant, and the Jammy Dodger goes into the lead. Not met each other before. I thought they might have clashed in their BDO days.
Yeah.
But not the case.
I was mildly surprised by that.
140.
Mentioned that run to the final in Barnsley on Wednesday. That's coming hot on the heels of a run to the semis in Dublin, where he lost to Menzel.
135.
So it's all pointing to a timely return to form, similar to the one he had towards the end of 2016 for James Wilson. Very productive time of it at the end of last year, and he's doing likewise here after just going off the boil
40.
ever so slightly. Didn't qualify for the German Darts Grand Prix, didn't qualify for Riesa. First round exit in Maastricht, didn't qualify for the European Darts Open either. Didn't do a lot on the Pro Tour in the midst of all that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first sort of 5 months of the year, which is how long it took him to qualify for one of the European Tour events, James Wilson. He'd only picked up on about $5,000 in prize money. A lot of early exits.
60.
Only just snuck through to the UK Open by the very skin of his teeth. And that's not really what we'd come to expect from a man who played so well at the back end of last year. As Razma provides the first maximum. Leaves him a 2-darter for a potential 11-dart leg. Mind you, Wilson could be breathing down his neck here.
100. Madars, you require
Not so
86.
Quick look at Wilson's score. He is on a finish. You would think that Razma would go for this. Oh, has he hit the double?
Yes,
he has.
54. James, you
see a lot of players will aim
61.
high and wide on that 18. Single 18 leaves the ball, but if you do manage to sneak the double in, you get to go at double 16. There is a lot of sense in that route. He's going to come back looking at double 16 with Wilson unable to take out the 161.
135. Madars Razma 32.
Left himself double 13, the Jammy Dodger. Oh, now he's covering a section of that bed.
But
not that bit.
Second leg. Madars Razma.
Instant break back for Razma.
The leg is Madars to throw first. Game on.
Beat some very, very good players in that run. In Dublin, beating Doby, Terry Temple, Keegan Brown, who we've just seen win here today, Ronnie Hydrex and Gerwin Price. Stephen Bunting ending his run, winning 6-3.
Yeah, I didn't see much of Madars that day, but I do know people who were there and going around the City West Hotel watching some of his games, and the reports back, as you'd expect, indicated he was playing some fantastic stuff. But it doesn't just happen straight away for
59
players when they move to the PDC. Not always. It does take them time. James Wilson has said himself that he was not ready. For a man who has "so ready" written on the sleeve of his shirt, he was not ready for life as a
92
PDC pro. Couldn't hack it in the early stages. He had to knuckle down and prepare himself mentally for
59.
having people throw serious, ton-plus averages at you from round one. He just wasn't used to it. Doesn't always happen, of course, but it can happen. And if you're not ready, you're going home.
100.
Given your time in Dublin and Barnsley, how many days at home have you had in the last 3 weeks?
About one in the last fortnight. It's all right. It's a rubbish home anyway.
It's relentless.
180.
Nothing rubbish about that. Razma just finding a bit of rhythm here now. 1-2, 1 away.
$57. Madars Razma 121.
Well, to go into the lead, Madars Razma, that's one off. And just wants to make sure this is very high.
81.
Very much
Safe
like
business.
that.
167.
But for the biggest checkout of the weekend so far, James Wilson looking at 167.
$100.
Well,
Madars
again,
Razma 40.
Wilson has decided to try and pile into the treble 20, which would have left a strange finish.
Game
And
shot
again, it doesn't really matter because Razma takes that out.
James to throw
Does
first.
go into the lead for the
Game on.
first time, the 5-time Latvian national champion.
Worth noting here as well that Wilson was a quarter-finalist in the European Championship last year, but with £9,000 on the European Order of Merit
128.
right now. Okay, he's guaranteed 1,000 there. He's on the brink of qualifying, but he needs to do something here in this one, first and foremost.
140.
It's by no means certain that Wilson will be going through.
Yeah, there are a number of players all in that little sort of section
140.
challenging for a spot in Hasselt, and a number of them are here. Aspinall, James Richardson, Chris Quantock, Jan Decker, James Wilson.
And this is one of the matches that Darren Webster will be keeping an eye on as well, because he's just above the dotted line at the moment on £11,000, so he needs a few of those to slip up.
Well, I mean, they're all within $2,000 of each other. You stick another, you go another grand down. You've not only got Johnny Clayton, who beat
40.
James Wilson, 2 days ago, in the final to claim his first PDC title, but you've also got the multiple major champion, James Wade.
43.
Wadey in very real danger of not making it to the
he's-
European Championship.
He's on 8,000, isn't he? So that's a potential story in the making as well this weekend.
Well, we're seeing James Wade take on Nathan Aspinall tonight, so only one of them can come through that one.
137.
So an absolutely enormous game for those two men. And you'd have to say, when you look at the form, Aspinall might well be the one you'd back. I mean, it's a dangerous one to back against James Wade. He's a phenomenal player.
James Razma
Which way is
56.
this leg going, though? Razma on 90. Wilson should get 2 darts. He does get 2 darts, double top.
Took it out before with his first start. Not this time.
16.
And Razma
Madars
is
Razma,
back in
90.
once again here.
I thought he might go 20 for double 18 there, James Wilson. He does love that double 18. Razma should start on the 20s, and does. Oh, what a dart that is.
Oh. 80.
Got a dart at double
Change
5 rather than the
40.
bullseye, but did not take advantage.
Game shot on the fourth leg. James Wilson.
The other thing about Wilson as well is that he's not got a great deal on the countback either. He'll have £2,000 on the countback, which won't be as much as, say, Decker or Chris Quantock either. So
26.
That's the other thing that's counting him against him right now.
Yeah, well, the way to deal with it.
Win your matches.
Keep on winning games. The winner of this one will take on Chizzy, Dave Chisnall. No easy task.
100.
Let's see the first host nation qualifier in action. Next up, Manfred Bilderl, the German, up against Johnny Clayton. And we've already mentioned the man who claimed his first PDC title 2 days ago, beating James Wilson in the final. Jamie Caven, who went on an improbable run that got himself into the Players' Championship finals just the other day, takes on Yuri May-Wissa. Steve West, Simply the West, against Chris Quantock, another player fighting out for a spot
31.
at the European Championship. And Martin Schindler, who is desperate to make it to Ali Pali for the first time in his career. He's up against the Bulldog John Bowles. Every single game, pretty much, we're going to see today. There is stuff riding
60.
on it, whether it's European Championship qualification, whether it's keeping hold of your tour card, whether it's making it to Ali Pali. Loads and loads of storylines all over the place. Fascinating day of darts.
No dead rubbers here, unlike in World Cup qualifying.
92.
Everybody looking after their own interest this weekend.
$60.
Well, it's a slightly sluggish leg, this one. Was it Christian Kist who qualified for the last European Tour by winning one match? Was that when? Do you remember you made the points?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
yes, it
Razma
was.
had to win 5 matches to get through his qualifying campaign. Ulsader was one of them.
Well, and we know these Scandinavian qualifiers are tough. The Nordic and Baltic
140. Manager required.
The organisers refer to them as mini lakesides, just to get here.
Yeah, and Daniel Larsson was another of his victims as well in the 3rd round.
$96.
Yeah, James Wilson battered his way
84.
through qualifying, beat Kirk Shepherd and Richie Burnett, only lost 2 legs in those 2 games. Can he go 3-2 up here? Double 12 says he can.
Game shot on the 5th leg. James Wilson. 6th leg is James to throw first. Game on.
And there's a break, second break for Wilson. Two breaks to one effectively now, and fairly consistent stuff.
100.
Yeah, it's not electrifying, but it's solid.
$134.
You see 89 plays 88. Not much in the first 9 either. No wonder it's 3-2. And James Wilson.
45.
You look at the world's qualification, and I mean he's there or thereabouts, just outside the top 32 in the world anyway. So making the European Championship is a huge,
81.
huge thing for James Wilson.
$96.
You just feel here, if one player can just take the game by the scruff of its neck and just establish a bit of rhythm and just get some good scoring going, it's there for the taking, but neither able to do so far. Wilson has the break, but it's
125.
not totally comfortable here for Wilson, although that is more like it from him. But there is a chance here for Razma to steal the darts and get his nose in front and get back on terms. And there's a ton 40 for him as well. So
change required 95.
This one bubbling up nicely.
Options here, ball or 19s. Ah! Or single 9. I'm
63. Madars require 86.
For the second time in this match, you see somebody go double 18 to leave double 16. Oh, very nearly the third time. Bullseye.
61. Change require 32.
Well, for a bit of daylight in this one, to open up a 2-leg gap for the first time in this match, James Wilson. Double 8.
Yeah,
very well done. Last start did it 4-2 to the Yorkshireman.
Game on.
Yeah, just another illustration of the fine lines here. Razma's not been blown away in the legs that he's lost, but Wilson has just about done enough, and once again that's the case. But look at this from Razma. Great response. First two were virtually on top of each other. The third one had plenty of room either side.
$85.
And of course, this weekend, Dan, the last chance for the 9-darter on the European Tour.
Well, I mean,
are we even going to bother talking about this?
You describe it as if there is a chance of it happening, which would be nonsensical.
You know me. I'm the biggest prophet of doom as far as the European Tour 9-darter is concerned. I'm just throwing it out there as a crumb of comfort to some people who desperately see a European Tour 9-darter.
Well, I believe the wait will go on
until
2026. We're all incinerated in nuclear winter.
Well, hopefully that won't be until after the World Championship.
Well, I mean, I hope so. We live in troubling times.
Lots to look forward to on the darts world.
Madars Razma looking to ease our troubles with a 1-2-7. Oh, he went for it without needing to. That would have been a bit of razzmatazz.
$60. Madars require 25.
Oh, yeah. Robert Thornton 17 for double 4
on the 7th leg.
Uses it very well. 14 darter for
James
Madars
to throw
Razma.
first. Game on. $140.
Well, Razma started the last leg with a ton 80. Could do with it here as well, just to give himself a chance to break back in this particular leg. But already it looks as though Wilson
91.
Just stolen a slight march on his opponent.
$96. $99.
Starting on the 19s here, I would assume. Maybe not.
Oh, yeah, we've seen it done. 5 19s leads you on 170, etc. Switches to the 19s anyway.
134.
Switches to good effects.
Yes, well.
But had he gone for the 19s first time around?
Well, the thing is, I mean, if it's a single 19 there, he's not going to finish. But to be fair, Madars needed to fill it up. The thing is, you can lose legs
on such decisions.
Yeah.
$95.
Well, this time, Wilson does decide to leave double 18 rather than leaving double top. He had his choice. And he does like double 18, does the jammy dodger.
59.
Like it even more
36.
if it puts him 5-3 up here.
Game shot on the 8th leg.
I think we're seeing all these double 18s today.
9th leg is Madars to throw first.
Of them, ever since Paul Nicholson mentioned John Lowe's 9-darter. Since that was broadcast, I think the players have seized upon this and decided to go for double 8 as some sort of homage to John Lowe.
58.
Well, just a look of resignation on the face of Razma there as he went to retrieve his darts. 58 scored. Wilson looking to pounce all over this. Ton 40 would do him the world of good.
100.
Just a ton.
Well, if this is the last game we get to see played by one of the Nordic and Baltic qualifiers this year on the European tour,
137.
then, quite frankly, I think we can probably categorise the whole thing as a success, because all the players you mentioned, Viljanen, Ulf Ceder,
140.
Nielsen,
Larsen.
Like, yeah, I mean, we've seen some fantastic stuff from them.
Magnus Carris as well.
Magnus Carris, of course, he had that run in Gibraltar, didn't he?
98.
I think you would have to say it has been an unqualified success, because these guys have more than held their own on the Euro Tour this year, and they've added something to it.
Definitely.
100.
And it probably speaks volumes for the strength in depth, or at least amongst that elite group of players they've got in Scandinavia.
99.
That it's not the same person coming through all the time. Had it been the same person coming through all the time, we'd probably be seeing one of them at the European Championship. Wilson's not going to finish it off right now. Go back up to the 20s here.
But that continued
61.
format and that continued level of competition, I think will... Well, the argument is it will develop an elite of, say, 4 or 5 players who can then sort of regularly get involved in this sort of
77.
But Madars Razma may not be involved in this particular tournament for much longer, because missing double 16 allows James Wilson a pop at 100 to close this out 6-3. And it's got to be tops to tops.
40.
Oh, biscuit.
32.
Well, we talked about the fine lines and the decision-making. Will that one come back to haunt James Wilson?
Game shot on the 9th leg. Madars Razma.
May well do, you know.
10th leg is James to throw first. Game on.
Well, he has the throw here. This is the leg. As far as James Wilson's concerned,
140.
he does very well there. And James Wilson, a man who in his PDC career has been plagued by bounce-outs and weird deflections. We've seen a few times in this match where I've been concerned we might see
60.
one, and it's not happened. And that was one of those cases there where he's fired in a dart into a cluster of his own arrows, and he's not had any weird deflections or bounce-outs, and that's got to be a good sign.
41.
That's not a good sign for the jammy dodger, though.
Can I just point out as well, only just been brought to my attention, Razma, shiniest shoes on the European Tour this year.
180.
Shiniest darts as well.
Not too shabby darts either, Madars Razma with a 180.
Pressure on James Wilson here, just a bit of it.
92.
Just about stolen the darts here, Razma.
Has to follow that third 180 up with something.
60.
Not enough. Wilson should be first to a finish. What kind of a finish? It's not a bad one. It's a 2-darter. A man from Huddersfield, 88 points away from a 6-4 win and a place in the second round to face Chizzy.
$65.
Latvian fires in a ton 80, but only follows it with a 60 and a 65. Not enough. Double 18 again? Oh, no.
80.
Well, he got the dart at the double,
require 136.
having declined 18 for bullseye. He got the treble, so look, there's no harm done. But a match dart missed. The 136 is not going, so he's going to get more match darts. James Wilson playing with fire a little bit there. He's come out unburnt so far.
But this has to go, otherwise Razma may well pounce to force a decider. James Wilson looking at 4-4 for a place in round 2 here in Göttingen. 2 darts in hand.
Game shot.
And that is all he needs. James Wilson breathes a bit of a sigh of relief there. I think he acknowledges he was made to work slightly harder than he would have liked, and it could have been a very anxious finale for him, but he comes through, as Dan says, with his fingers very much intact, unburnt, and he, sure enough, advances to the second round to set up a meeting with Chizzy tomorrow here at the lockout.